This is awesome. I pulled the electric up because we're getting close to shore. Oh, you got him just on one hook. Not bad.
Very
okay,
lightly hooked.
which twitch bait did you have on?
That's the max wrap, size 11.
Good.
Yeah.
And he whacked it pretty good?
Hit it pretty
I
hard.
find they really hit it with a vengeance. Get this nice, she's got one hook in them, which is good for live release. How's the rod working? This is where you get to test all this stuff.
Yeah, that's right. They feel great.
Which one is that one? Not to put you on the spot, but what line rating on the R-Type?
This one's rated up to about 30 pounds.
Perfect. Now, how does the rating work? I'm not trying to lose your fish. Okay, real scenario. People come up to me all the time. They say, my rod is rated from 6 to 12 pound test. What braided line can I put on there? I always tell them that the rating is based on monofilament line. So as long as it's got a 6 pound diameter, really that's 20 pound braid, you can use 20 pound test.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no problem with that.
So
as long as you're not going to overpower the rod, you should be fine.
So you be careful. Those are sharp hooks. I'm going to give you a hand here. Can you shake it out? Wow, you did that like a pro. You do get out.
I think we'll need the pliers on this one.
Put them in my top pocket. Okay, you hold him. Just watch if he shakes. I tell people they got to be so careful because the hooks are so sharp. And this guy was a chaser. He just nailed the back of it. I've got thinner pliers too, because sometimes with the smaller diameter trebles. Look at that's a nice fish. You know what? I'm going to get your tape measure. How long do you think he is? I'm going to grab the tape measure.
Your famous question.
My famous question.
I think he's about 17.
This
16.
is good. We didn't rehearse this, by the way. Okay, we're going to go 0, 17. Good job.
There you go.
Okay, here, let's put him in the net. We're going to do the proper thing, and I'm going to let you release him. There you go. We're not going to take pictures until we get like over 18 inch. He wants to go.
I think he's ready.
I think you could have tossed him over the side. Good release. Good job. What do you think about the stiffness of rods? Because a lot of guys have different opinions on how stiff the rod should be. Because I'm using the shift rod and it's fairly stiff. Yours is a little bit lighter.
It's a little
For twitching. What do you think, strategy-wise? Is it better to have a stiffer rod or a softer one?
Well, when you're twitch bait fishing, I think if the fish are not hitting as aggressively, you want to have sort of a softer tip. That way they can melt the bait a little bit. You got a split second before you need to set that hook, and it allows them to not split it as easily. So. Yeah.
What about if they're hitting aggressively?
Well, if they're hitting aggressively, you can have a faster tip. Shouldn't be a problem.
I like that. So the average fisherman can go home to his wife and say, honey, I'm going to do some twitching. I really need 2 rods.
Absolutely.
One with a softer tip, one that's a little bit stiffer so I can set the hook fast. And she'll go, okay, honey, here's a credit card.
One is never enough.
Okay, perfect. It's amazing, the sensitivity on the shift rods. I think part of how, I know like they usually classify the blanks like IM6 or other high modulus. How are the shift rods classified in the R-types?
Well, they're a very high modulus blank. Actually, it's a proprietary blend of, very high modulus graphite. So you get extreme sensitivity in the blank.
Well, couple that with the way the grips are done, with the split grips, I think it's a great idea. I'm glad that the industry's gone to that as opposed to the heavy cork or the PVC material, which really takes the sensitivity out of it.
I think he's almost ready to go.
He's giving you a good fight for his size. All right. So you grab him, watch the hooks again. I'm used to fishing with my kids, so I got to tell them to be careful. Did I mention I have pliers? I know how to pull the hooks out, but it's not a nice thing, It's one thing taking them out of the fish.
He's barely hooked, so I think we can.
Good. Well, that says a lot for the sharp hooks. So if you hold them, we'll get the hook out later. I'm going to put this down. Nice smallmouth, eh? They're very chunky. One thing I find this time of the year, the fish that have already spawned, you can see that they're pretty lean. So the stomachs are actually concave because they haven't been feeding a lot. But now they start to put on the beef because they're chasing bait fish.
They're starting to feed up.
Yeah. Okay, let's get him back in the water. Nice and gentle. He's ready to go back. Now here, I'm going to give you your rod. Let's just show them the difference between the two grips, because it's kind of neat. So what I'm holding up is the shift rod, and this particular one is matched with the shift reel. And if you look underneath, see the blank right there under the reel? So the reel is actually contacting the blank. And there's nothing, there's no foam or cork up here. Literally, you just have the ring that holds the reel on. So when your hand is on this, you feel everything. You see my fingers are underneath? So the sensitivity is amazing. Now the art type is similar. I'm just going to put them together because you're using, of course, a spinning outfit. I'm using a bait casting outfit. When did Rapala start doing the split grips where it wasn't all one piece?
We started developing the split grip design about 3 years ago, and what we found is it's just a very sensitive rod, and it's a great way to fish. When you cast, you've got something to hold on to, helps with your accuracy. When you're feeling for those bites, it's just a lot more sensitive because you don't have that dampening effect of the cork over the whole blank.
The other thing I really like, Dave, for guys that are serious anglers, especially tournament fishermen, these are one-piece rods. They're extremely sensitive and extremely strong. So they're right up at the top level of all the Rapala, you know, spinning and bait casting outfits for warm water fish. So if you're a serious fisherman, this is what you should be looking at, these outfits.
Fisher girl! Catch the passion!
We're down here on the beautiful Niagara River, and we're planning on doing some fishing. But as you can see at the whirlpool here, there's so much water to fish. How do you pick the right spot? Well, when it comes to fishing, the first thing that you do is pick a spot where there's deeper water close to shore. And because the shoreline is irregular, you have to look in the water where you don't see the rocks. That means that the water is going to be a little bit deeper, and you have the best chance of getting some of the larger fish move in. The other thing to consider is the current. You can see there's lots of current here from the rapids. So you want to pick a spot that's deeper, but also that there's a little bit less current so your lure can get down a little bit. Now that's the fishing aspect of it. Now Kate, what about for safety? What kind of things should we look for?
For safety, you're going to want to check your surroundings. So right here is perfect. We have a nice clear area. The trees are far behind, just for the casting. It won't get in the way. And as well, you want to be careful of those rocks because they get really slippery near the water. So
especially when they get wet.
Exactly.
So you know what? This looks like a good spot. It looks nice and calm. Should we try a few casts?
For sure. Let's do it.